Beer. What's up, guys? We're doing all right. Happy middle of the week. It is Wednesday, May 4th, 2022. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. A great night last night, maybe in the baseball streets and the NBA streets as well. Kind of a weird NBA slate results wise. A couple of value plays didn't come through. And baseball's all right. Yankees made me a happy man last night. So hopefully we can keep it going today. Not only for the the happiness of the Yankees win streak, but also for successful DFS night. A much more, I don't say much more, but a more condensed main slate tonight. Still involves cores. There are some games going right now. We have a look back at last night. Brandon Woodruff led the slate in fantasy points despite only going 5 innings. So the strikeouts really got him there. Josh Bell out there in cores, one of your top scorers on the slate. Tommy Pham up against Milwaukee, right? Against Brandon Woodruff, ends up being one of the better DFS plays. And Julio Urias, I mean, the second highest scoring pitcher, was just 23 fantasy points. And he had just 4 strikeouts. So again, he's continuing his trend of not really missing bats, but he was able to get through a decent quality start here. And that incarnation of the Giants lineup, boy, was that a list of names, right? He scored the exact same as Alek Manoah, by the way. So when you move past Brandon Woodruff here, one of like the better stats on the slate, results-wise, ended up being the Yankees. So it's just kind of ironic that Manoah was a top 2 scoring pitcher on the slate, while the team against him end up, scoring, I think, the most runs on the slate. So baseball do be baseball. 7 Ks for Manoah, 6 innings pitched, only 1 Ernie. A incredible at-bat with Aaron Judge that resulted in a Judge bomb, and then an inning that broke down, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got into a couple of bad calls. But baseball do be baseball, man. Oh, he had a frustrating inning. So we'll see if he unleashes tonight and maybe takes some frustration out on the baseball. But hey, we're gonna do. Anyway, we got 7 games tonight, so I'm going to jump into some weather research. Shout out to Kevin Roth. This is rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB. Looking for him for some leans on whether or not we should be worried about tonight. Focusing on the yellow spots, the trouble spots. Looks like maybe some rain in Texas and Philly. Minnesota, Baltimore, the same thing. And then Angels at Boston, and then the Nats at Coors. We always talk about how Coors will almost always have like a rain concern because of the way Denver's set up, right? So nothing alarming here. So we'll let that ride. I did see something about wind though. Wind blowing out at 10 miles. Okay, cool. Anyway, we're gonna do like we did yesterday. Update the spreadsheet as we go. React to live lineups. If you guys got some live sweats going on, man, let me know in the chat. I know there's some baseball going on. I saw the Madison Bumgarner ejection. Boy, that looked like an inside job, man. That ump went to check his hand and never looked at the guy's hand. He was just palm reading the guy, staring at his eyes, man. I'd have got mad too. Bums. What up, Jonathan? What up, Jay Feezy? What up, Eric? You're for the steak man of the hour, bro. I got a couple slices of that steak still chilling. What up, Skimmer? You doing all right? All right, so we're gonna go game by game here. Get some lineups and put it into the spreadsheet, and then we will be working on a stack list, pitcher tiers, all that good stuff. And then we'll also kind of keep an eye on. I guess I need to open up PrizePicks and Underdog, kind of see what the prop world is looking like. So let me get that open on the second screen. On the second screen, guys, I rolled out of bed and I'm out of bang. I don't have any energy drinks, and I didn't have time to make coffee. But Danny's on the way home. Maybe she'll hook me up with some coffee. That would be lit. Low-key lit. High-key lit. There we go. Alright, I just want to make sure we have props added here. Bam. Oh, Twitter's a wonderful place. Alright, so we got Kyle Bradish taking on Dylan Bundy. Twins versus Orioles. Twins have a 4.1 implied run total. Orioles 3.5. Much like baseball, par for the course lately, low run totals. Bundy, if we pull up what he's done this season, I got him in season long. I got a couple of usable starts out of him. He'll be tasked with facing his old team, right? A little revenge narrative, if that's your cup of tea. And and he gets to see what it's like pitching in this park with the walls moved back in right field. My mom is trying to FaceTime me. Should I answer? No, I can't. What are you doing? 12.2% swinging strike rate for Bundy on the season. A couple of good games, a couple of bad games, right? Against Chicago, against Seattle, swinging strike rate dropped below 10%, and then at Boston, at Tampa, above the teens. So I don't know what he was doing different in those games versus the others. Looks like he used the fastball a little bit more in that Tampa game. A little bit similar uses on the changeup. So interesting to see those numbers fluctuate that drastically game to game. But overall, the underlying metrics, the Sierra, the XFIP have been just fine, 311, 305. And we've already kind of beat a dead horse here, but the Orioles are a high strikeout team, and on the season they are top 2, top 3 in the league in terms of team strikeout potential. So at 8,300, yeah, we can introduce Dylan Bundy into the mix here. I do want to double check his xFIP to both sides of the plate. Last year was kind of alarmingly high to lefties, 4.58, and it wasn't that great against righties either. So just kind of want to see if his xFIP and Sierra, which have been good, show any potential opportunities or missed opportunities for regression to either side of the plate. So 3.36 xFIP to lefties, okay, 2.7 to righties. So far so good. Again, short sample size, so we don't want to go crazy here, but it doesn't look like he's been especially lucky or unlucky And then hard contact rate's really, really low, and the fly ball rate is modest to both sides of the plate, but much higher to righties at 41%. So we're going to introduce Dylan Bundy into the player pool. We're going to make him probably tier 3 to start, because at the end of the day, he's still Dylan Bundy, but he will be in the player pool. And then Bradish. We looked up Bradish last week. He looked like he was a really good minor league pitcher. He just happens to be in the shadow of Grayson Rodriguez, which is one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball, especially for the Orioles, their number 1 prospect. So maybe he's not getting the hype that he would otherwise. But looking at his minor league starts, the strikeouts, 6 and 4 innings, 3 and 5, 8 and 6, 2 and 6. The whip is 1 or less in all of these games. So he's been a really, really, really good pitcher for them. Maybe more so a real life pitcher than anything. And then we look at what he did in that big league debut. He went 6 strong against Boston, 2 strikeouts, 9-7 ground ball fly ball ratio, 81 pitches. So we'll see if that stuff takes a minute to transfer to the big leagues. But let's look at the pitch type data and the discipline data for him after that first start. 9.9% swing and strike rate. All right, so that kind of leaves the door open for progression or regression. The xFIP and CR are really, really high. The hard contact is up there. The pull rate is up there. The fly ball rate's up there. So if these numbers continue, he could be in for a little bit of trouble here. So I like looking at that, and I also want to see if that was specifically to a couple lefties or a couple righties. Again, one game is ultra dangerous, but it's all we got, right? So we have to at least understand what was happening. 60% fly ball rate to righties, or two righties in that game. 16.7% home run to fly ball rate, and the hard contact was 20%. So lefties hit a little bit harder, but more ground balls. All right, cool. Again, 1 game sample, and the Red Sox have been one of the more absent offenses in baseball. The Twins have not. So I think by default, we kind of have to introduce the Twin stack into the mix here. But with that said, I mean, the Orioles bullpen has been great even. And it's not a spot where I think I'm specifically looking at one pitcher or a couple of pitchers out of the bullpen that I want to target. I'm just kind of betting on talent here and hoping for some of this Bradish stuff to still hang up and still suffer from or achieve and appreciate his regression that those numbers say that he will have if he continues to pitch the way he did in Game 1. Again, it can go both ways. He can go backwards or he can go forward and be closer to the minor leaguer that he was. So I'm just going to take a chance with the Twin stack. And I don't know. I'm on the fence with Orioles here. Orioles have one of the lowest run totals on the entire slate. And they're just a stagnant offense, and like when you want to stack them, there's a couple names you can get to: Mancini, Santander, maybe Mountcastle, Austin Hayes. Yeah, I guess you could justify it. I don't know. I might have to let that one simmer. I'm not enthused to get to Orioles ever. But I guess Bundy does have a track record that does allow some power, especially to righties. And last year, both sides of the plate. So maybe I talk myself into it at the end of the day. It is a smaller slate. So I'll keep an eye on the ownership, see if we can dive into that. But right now, I'm going to leave them off the stack list and go from there. What up, Gilbert? What up, Justin? What up, Conscious? Hope you're doing all right today. All right, let's get the Yankee game typed up into the spreadsheet. Doesn't look like we have either lineup confirmed yet. 7:07 start time. Kikuchi versus Nestor Cortez. I wonder who rested today. Joey Gallo had a full day off yesterday, so I don't see him in this projected lineup, but I would be kind of surprised. I mean, I guess it is a lefty, They haven't started him against the lefty yet all year. So I wonder if he gets back-to-back days off. Interesting. And Marwin Gonzalez played pretty well and showed that he could play some outfield too. Interesting. And Aaron Hicks, I think he got on base 4 times yesterday out of that leadoff spot. So that's what you like to see. Unfortunately, he got caught stealing during the Judge at bat, where Judge homered. Would have liked that not to happen. But what can you do? Anyway, Cortez versus Kikuchi, 2 southpaws going at it. Run total for the Yankees here, 4.4. The Yankees are actually minus 145 favorites against Kikuchi. I think it's I think they're just giving more love for Cortez, maybe his results, than Kikuchi. I love Cortez. We all love Cortez. He's a fun pitcher to watch. A lot of the advanced metrics don't love Cortez, but he's kind of performed over the metrics or the predictive metrics for years now. And we talk about the intangible stuff that numbers don't really track. It's the different arm slots, the timing before pitches, the quick pitches, the Cueto approach here and there. So that's what's kind of getting him by and performing better than what the numbers say he should be, at least last year. 9.6% swing and strike rate on the season, a 70% first pitch strike rate. That's what you want. Batted ball data has given us a pristine Sierra, a pristine xFIP. Last game against Kansas was his highest of either category. And then pitch type wise, fastball, slider, curveball, and some changeup. A lot of fastball, slider here. Doesn't throw especially fast or especially hard, anything like that. He just attacks the plate. He keeps coming at you. So at 9,900, I do think he's overpriced. I said that when he was 10K. Because the slate's so small, you saw last night, 23 fantasy points was a top 2 score out of pitcher. So if you think Cortez could fall into 20-plus fantasy points, price be darned, right? Salary and value is super subjective in baseball. He did have one game against Toronto to start the season. Remember, that's before pitchers were stretched out. He went 72 pitches in that game, held his own, 5 strikeouts, 4.1 innings. He's a bit more stretched out now. We've seen him throw over 90 pitches, so maybe we'll look at him as a loose option here. I'd be honest, I'd be a little bit more inclined to get behind either stack here. I'm probably more inclined to get to the Yankee stack. Bias be darned, because I think the Yankees bullpen is better than the Blue Jays bullpen, and the Blue Jays bullpen, even yesterday, that action was happening against some of their better arms. Remember that inning unfolded in a 1-1 game that turned into a 2-1 game. And it was their high leverage guys. So it's not like they were able to throw in, or they were burning garbage guys. Adam Simber has been really tough on the Yankees. He's pitched 2 games in a row in 3 of his last 4 days. They also had Julian Mayweather out there. They had Trent Thornton, and then Andrew Vasquez. So they haven't gone to Jordan Romano, who's probably their best bullpen guy. But past that, you might get some Meza. You might get some David Phelps, who pitched 2 days ago. Those guys are a bit more attackable than some of the guys ready for the Yankees, right? The Loaizicas, the Clay Holmes of the world, stuff like that. So I think if either pitcher implodes, the bullpen advantage is still the Yankees. So even if the Yankees, or if the Blue Jays are able to get to Cortez a little bit, do got to wonder about the Yankees being able to chop the game in half. I will say Chad Green, his stuff is not looking like Chad Green stuff. So I don't know if he would be an option today. I know he was warming up last night. But then they went to Wandy Peralta, and I don't know if Chad Green. I don't think Chad Green closed that. Let's see. Yeah, he pitched the day before. So Chapman would be available today. Michael King would be available today. Clark Schmidt got optioned down. Loaizica would be available today. So these are household, like, these are big arms out of the Yankees bullpen. So a tougher road to success for the stack if the game stays competitive and Cortez passes the baton. So give me the Yankee stack. I think it's fine to get to a Blue Jay stack, and I will. But if I had to like teeter-totter that seesaw and just appreciate the matchup more, I think the matchup favors the Yankees. What a pinstripe. Probably want to see Gallo. Yeah. I don't think you will, but 2 days off is interesting. So I don't know. I think you might, but we'll see. They just we haven't known them to rest a guy 2 days in a row. All right, we got the babe. Would you mind making some coffee? you want Dante on chat? You want to see the cat? There's the cat. Hello. Big fur ball. I gotta type up the Angels game.
He loves you.
He does.
Yeah, I'll make you coffee.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't have any bang.
I'm sorry. More energy drinks?
All right, tapping up this Red Sox line. It looks like there could be some rain here, but Roth wasn't too worried about it. So we won't be too worried about it. Reed Detmers taking on Garrett Whitlock. Neither one of these lineups are confirmed. We don't have a lot of confirmed lineups for the late slate yet. Usually by this time we get 4 or 5 of them, but that's not the case today. We slacking. Garrett Whitlock starting for the Red Sox here. All right, Detmer's on the bump for the Angels. Last year he was nothing special. A 5.73 expected ERA, 1.8 on the WHIP. Garrett Whitlock was one of the best relieving arms in baseball. So we'll see how that transfers in this spot start. Let's start looking at Detmer's information, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be curious with both team stacks here, and especially the Red Sox. Red Sox look like they're waking up offensively lately. Seeing JD Martinez get back into some of the bomb columns, that's good. 8.4% swinging strike rate on Detmer for the season, with a 3.6 Sierra, a 3.76 xFIP. That's okay. That's solid. The ground ball rate has been 1-to-1 essentially with the fly ball rate, so that can get you in trouble in Fenway, especially against some pull lefties. But we like to focus on the righties here. And then let's go look at potential pitch count. 5 innings his last couple of outings, 88, 70 pitches. Strikeouts are Yeah, so I don't think I'm pitching. I know I'm not going to pitch Detmers here. I'd be more inclined to get to a Red Sox stack. Last year he had a big problem with both sides of the plate, especially against righties. If that continues here, I mean, it's actually a good spot for Trevor Story. JD Martinez, like we said, looking like he's cooking up his bat a little bit. Kike Hernandez. So all these guys look like solid options. So we're going to add the Red Sox to the stack list here. This is not in any particular order. It's just as we go, research-wise, what we're uncovering. And Garrett Whitlock, every impression I've got of Whitlock, every time I watch him, this guy seems like a monster. So this might be unstoppable force and movable object stuff where we look at Trout, Ohtani, Rendon, guys like that are good bats up against a great pitcher. 15.8% swinging strike rate so far this season. I mean, insane. The batted ball data is on the side. 2.36 Sierra, 2.56 xFIP. The ground ball rate higher than the fly ball rate, but close enough. But we can true fly ball rate his number down. A 20% infield fly ball rate. It's pretty wild. So yeah, we like his run prevention metrics. I don't know that he's stretched out enough to consider him. Maybe he is. 61 pitches? Nah, probably not. So that's probably what's going to hold us off here. You might not get but 3 or 4 innings out of him, and then that turns into a bullpen game. Do they have a projected long man? No, just him. Okay, so maybe we can look at that bullpen and guess who might be coming out for the Red Sox. Let's see. Cutter Crawford probably is an option. Yeah, if they go full bullpen, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. But we can't play the starter here. So I guess if we're playing Angels, we're just, we don't really care about who's against Mike Trout or Ohtani. We can just put them in the mix. So I don't think I'm going to stack the Angels here. I will stack the Red Sox. And I don't know, man. Even if we just get one turn through against Whitlock, it could be beneficial to get some Angels bats. So I'm going to put them next to the Orioles. Think about it a little bit more. It's a 7-game slate. Might as well stack everybody, right? But we'll see. What up, Obi-Wan? Just caught Fantasy Crunch today. Going to give it a try. Let's go. Woodruff did his dang. What up, Paul Whitlock Truther? Let's go. I play MLB The Show. He's one of my bullpen arms. All right, let's move on to the next game here. The Brewers hosting the Reds. Freddie Peralta. Projected Reds lineup is Naquin, Drury, Tommy Pham. Pham has been their one, man. I wonder if they try to trade him at the deadline, because that season is looking, oh my gosh, man. I mean, it's tough to be a Reds fan, I imagine. Them and the Athletics. Those are just like two organizations where it's like, if you're not going to try, then let somebody else run the show. Gutierrez. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Alright, Brewers lineup. I'm vibing with this little track. I do got some leftover steak from last night, though. Might have to scarf that down before the NBA stream at the top of the hour. I will not be eating raw steak or whatever the F Josh has y'all believing. That is not happening. Vladimir Gutierrez versus Freddie Peralta is happening. And Freddie Peralta and the Brewers are minus almost 290 favorite on the money line. So that's getting towards the extreme end of the spectrum as amongst the highest areas of a favorite you'll see. So we can use that to imply Freddie Peralta for the win. So that'll help for his Fanduel projection. Went 6 innings against Pittsburgh on the 28th. Went 92 pitches. That's a great sign. So if he can be 90-plus pitches, probably expect a strikeout per inning or better. Had a rough start, but everyone did, especially on this Brewers team. And it looks like they're starting to find it here. So let's look at his plate discipline information from the last couple games. This ain't right. Plate discipline. What did I do? I put David Peralta. I need this coffee, chat. I need this coffee. I was like, wait, he's 34? But he's only 25. David Peralta's 34. I was like, wait a minute. 13% swing strike rate on the season, so that's good. We know he can miss bats. 3.3 on xFIP, 3.23 Sierra, and then he's just progressively gotten better results-wise from that first start. So I kind of like the trajectory here for Freddie Peralta. And I got to think, man, this Reds team is still the worst team in all of baseball. Other than Tommy Pham, there's not much here that I'm worried about. I know Moose got loose last night, but this is just a bad team. So Freddie Peralta, 8,900 on DK with his strikeout acumen. I think he's going to be a tier 1 option today. So we're going to put Freddie Peralta as a tier 1 and start him off there. And then Vladimir Gutierrez, we're not scared of him or this bullpen. We'll double check his batted ball data. God dang it. We'll double check his batted ball data from this season and not Vladimir Guerrero's batted ball data. But I imagine the Brewer stack is going to be introduced to our little stack list here. 6.7% swinging strike rate, pure contact guy. xFIP and Sierra is dog water. Fly ball rate elevated. The hard contact rate's okay, but yeah, we're full sending some Brewers here. So let's go to the stack list here. Let's add Brewers. Again, this is not a ranking. This is just literally like a rough draft, and then I add my percentages next to it when I get closer to the lot. So we're stacking Brewers. We're playing Peralta. Not I don't think we're going to stack Reds. And we're definitely not playing Gutierrez. And that's all I got to say about that. A's are trying to get out of town and the fans are helping. I mean, the owners are doing all the work there, man. Not putting a competitive product on the field. And that cardboard steak. No. Hey, man, that steak was fire. And I broke my foot off in those mashed potatoes last night, too. Did my thing. What up, OMG? Doing all right? Medium rare, the best. Medium well, bro. No, but hey, I just don't like bleeding food dripping on my plate, right? You wouldn't eat, I don't know. I feel like it's so weird that meat is like something you would eat barely cooked. Anything else? Like you wouldn't eat barely cooked chicken. It would kill you, but you wouldn't eat it anyway. Bunch of weirdos. White Sox at the Cubs. Are they doing a doubleheader today? Is that the thing? Jake Berger. Put your leader on the cover here. Yeah, I definitely could see Oakland going to like Vegas. But with that said, Vegas would be kind of Corsy, right? With the altitude and the air and all that crap. I feel like Vegas has a decent Las Vegas altitude. I misspelled altitude. Hopefully, 2001 Denver altitude. Oh, maybe not. Well, I was thinking Las Vegas would be high in altitude. Huh. I guess it would be high for the league. Remember that game in Iowa? I think we're doing that again this year. All right, Kyle Hendricks taking on Lucas Giolito. White Sox 3.9 implied run total. Cubs 3.3. Giolito definitely in play here. I think I might still tier Freddie Peralta above him. But 6 innings in that last outing against the Angels, 7 strikeouts with 3 earnings. I think did he give one up to Trout or something early, or Taylor Ward maybe? I think he let one up early, and then he kind of bounced back, fought his way back into it. So what we really like to see, though, is the fact that he almost got to 100 pitches, 99 to be exact. So that's a lot of bullets in his gun to fire at this Cubs lineup that offers quite a bit of strikeout potential. We don't have a confirmed lineup, but if it involves VR, Contreras, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, and Patrick Wisdom, I mean, those guys are giving you a quarter chance to strike out every time they step up. So a guy like Giolito could thrive just fine. And we pull up his card from this season. Marte's heating up. I picked him back up, though, so reverse the curse. Maybe the A's will go to, like, Canada. They were making a bid for the Rays. 18.6% swing and strike rate on Giolito. That's good. 65% first pitch strike. The Sierra and XFIP are just a thing of beauty. So, I think we're going to introduce Giolito as a tier 1 option with Freddie Peralta. So I love having a couple of tier 1s on a slate for pitching. That's usually when I do my best. That's when I got great pitchers to latch on to and enjoy the ride. Kyle Hendricks on the bump for the Cubs. Soft tossing righty. I'm going to be interested in the White Sox stack. Maybe I'm a sucker for the White Sox. Is what it is. But Kyle Hendricks, he don't scare me. Hendricks has an 11.4% swing and strike rate on the season. And that number is kind of inflated from this Rays game and this outlier Brewers game to start the season. There's 3 other games where the contact rate was a lot higher, right? Less than 9% swing and strike rate. So I'm gonna trust on the broader sample size than to think that he's a swing and miss guy. 4.58 xFIP, 4.4 on the Sierra, and then the favorite fact about Kyle Hendricks, his fastball is 86.7 miles an hour average velocity. Curveball at 73, changeup is at 80. So little bit hard to miss bats when you're throwing that soft in the big league level. You're really just hoping to induce soft contact, and yeah, so lower velocity pitches do tend to induce lower velocity exit velocities from the Department of Redundancy department. But with that said, if you're going to allow guys like Tim Anderson or Luis Robert, guys like that, to put the ball in play, I'm going to be interested, even though the season metrics are not on their side. I just think this team is too talented to be dormant for too long. So we will be stacking the White Sox today. I don't have any interest in the Cubs. I'm not playing Kyle Hendricks. Brewers did me good yesterday. Secondary stack, all hit. Yo, Willie Adames, man. So every time I look up, he's hitting a homer. But the other day I was saying that, and his season metrics weren't like as staggering. He's already got 6 bombs though. I feel like they've all come in the last week. I think they have. There's 1 homer on April 10th, and then since April 25th, he's hit 5. So yeah, he's come up and really swinging a hot bat. All right, give me the White Sox. Is that a doubleheader series? Is there a game going on right now? I think so. Let's see, Chicago. Maybe not. I don't know. I was thinking Chicago. No, it's not. What's the doubleheader today? There is one, right? I thought when we were looking at weather, he mentioned game 1 and game 2. But I don't know why I was thinking Chicago. I don't have my coffee, chat. Oh, it's Pittsburgh and Detroit. Okay. Well, I don't care about that game. No pink on my steak. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Reasonable take there. It's in a non-meme way, is it healthy to eat literal raw meat? Like, is that a medical recommendation? You know what I mean? That just seems not optimal. I see Nelson Cruz has an out tag next to his name. Did he get hurt yesterday? I think he got subbed out, right? Maybe he will be out. I put Josh Bell twice. No confirmed lineup here for the Nats. Patrick Corbin versus Austin Goomba Johnny. Boy, that sounds like... If Coors doesn't go off here, man. So yesterday, the national stack carried insane ownership, and of course, against probably the Rockies' best pitcher, they got there. Boy, did they get there. So today they catch Austin Gomber, a little less intimidating when it comes to metrics. Makes more sense for them to go off. We'll see if baseball logic kicks in. Padres Guardians is a double. Back stiffness. Okay. I'm a human, not an animal. Let's go. 8.4% swing strike rate for Gomber so far. 55% first pitch strike. So a little over a coin flip for that. That's not great. X-Whip and Sierra, though, on his side, there's only one game that really got away from him. It's always against the Cubs, right? It's like always against the Cubs where elite pitchers or pitchers have their worst game. It makes no sense. And then pitch type for him, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. All right, cool. And then on the other end here, Patrick Corbin. I wasn't buying what he was selling to start the season. I'm still not buying what he's selling. I wish Chris Bryant wasn't on the IL here because this would be a matchup made in heaven. We are full stacking both sides of this game. Yeah, so let's add him to the list here. With that said, I mean, reasonably, I'd project them to be the highest owned teams on the slate. So, you know, the research is step one. Next step is leverage and what to do with ownerships. So, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. But I imagine, you know, on a 7-game slate, if the Nats were pushing 30% ownership yesterday, I imagine we run that back after success and vice versa. Patrick Corbin eyes just light up. So Eric Fetty was able to get through 6 innings of and got to 100 plus pitches. But the Rockies, CJ Croney did what he does. He got there. Prices are just honestly an abomination here for the Nats. Like Juan Soto should be 6K. He should dang near be 6K at any stadium, right? But at Coors, yeah, that's disrespectful. So I don't think it's going to be that hard to stack Coors with some of these upper echelon pitching, which is making this slate a little ugly because you got to combat your logic with just making some mathematically leveraged plays. But obviously, Coors is looking like a shootout. 4.9 run total for the Nats, 5.9 for the Rockies. So, yeah. They saved my night, but today's the day to skip Coors. You think so? Yeah, man. Sometimes when Coors makes too much sense, that's when it fails, right? All right, we got one more game on the docket. It is the Dodgers and the Giants, and a couple of pitching, right? Let's put that in the spreadsheet here. Giants. So the Dodgers said Tony Gonsolin's going to start this game, which is fine. He's been starting. I don't know why it was a secret. Jock Peterson coming back. Starting to get some names back in this lineup, right? Alex Wood is over 9K against the Dodgers. I feel like I'm going to sit that one out. You guys got any prop for baseball that you already looked at? I guess we can go check out the strikeout props for the boys we do like. See if we want to sweat that. Also, there's a hockey promo for tonight on PrizePicks. So let's talk about PrizePicks for a second, and we'll talk about this game. First of all, if you're not on PrizePicks, you should sign up. We'll put a link in chat. Sign up using code GUNDACKER. They'll double your first deposit up to $100, and they'll support the stream, right? So if you want the free content to keep blasting, and you just want some fun, right? It's a everyone wins situation. You get to double that bankroll. They get a customer, and they show support to the channel, to the brand. So go check them out. They got a couple of fun things going on today. They got basketball on the docket. They got all-day baseball tonight. And they also have, playoff hockey, right? And they are running a promotion right now that will allow you to make a risk-free NHL card up to $10. So why not, right? Like, always take advantage of those promotions. And they have one tonight. So I'll pull this up on the main screen. It says your first NHL entry placed after 11 a.m. Eastern today, so now, is risk-free up to $10. Valid entries must include only NHL players playing today. So I don't know anything about hockey. I'm not going to pretend to, but hey, you could throw a 2-pick power, and worst that happens is you get your $10 back. So if you didn't know about that, now you know. So go check that out, and we'll look at some prop bets here in a second. But let's dissect this Dodgers game, and then we'll look for some props, and we'll also get some updated lineups. Looks like a couple of them are starting to come through. Alex Wood on the bump for the Giants versus Tony Gonsolin. Giants have a 3.5 run total. Dodgers a 4.2, so not expecting a ton of offense. However, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they're always a team that if Coors is going to be massively high owned, the upside in these bats is always present. And any moment these sleeping Giants could wake up. Alex Wood on the bump for the Giants here. We'll pull up his metrics so far this season. I think he's just like perfectly fine, right? Is the impression I get out of Alex Wood. 9.5% swinging strike rate, so contact pitcher, that's dangerous. xFIP and Sierra is fine. Ground ball rate higher than the fly ball rate, but an alarmingly high line drive rate. Line drive rates are hit on a rope, little more likely to become hits. So yeah, I think the lack of strikeout potential, the price, and the matchup, I just don't really have an interest in getting Alex Wood here. And Tony Gonsolin, I think he's a fine pitcher, but I don't think we ever expect him to go deep, ever. Ever. He's 4.6, 4 innings, pitches. He's maxed out at 83 pitches, so I mean, I guess theoretically he could go over that, but even like last year, I don't recall him being like a super length guy. So he might just be a 4-inning guy. Maybe you get 2 at bats versus him. What is that bullpen looking like? It's David Price potentially somebody that could come out today. No, Justin Brule could be due up. Phil Bickford, Tommy Kahnle, former Yankee great. Reyes Maranta, Evan Phillips. Okay. I don't necessarily have a desire to get to a giant stack here. Jock Peterson at 4.8K, when he was leading off before he got hurt for Yastrzemski, he was a sub-out risk. So you might be paying premium here for a guy that may not play the full game if they do bring in a lefty. But he does have home run power, right? So if he does get into a leadoff bomb or something like that. But Gonsolin's been pretty good at keeping the ball in the park, especially to lefties. The xFIP is high to lefties, so there's probably some regression there. But I also think that has to do with his ability to walk lefties. Last year at 13.5% walk rate. And then he allowed a high walk rate to righties last year and a high home run per 9 to righties last year. So maybe more of these power righties, which there's not many of them on this team. We also have Yastrzemski back in this projected lineup, so we'll wait for the confirmed lineup. But this lineup could, have one of the greatest single-day upgrades from last night to tonight that we've seen in baseball in quite some time. So no interest in Gonsolin here. Very, very lukewarm to almost no interest in stacking the Giants. If we can get them, at 1% or 2% owned, yeah, why not on a 7-game slate? And then Dodgers, I'll be there on that. I would expect the Dodgers to be in the shadows of the Coors ownership. So if that's the case, we're just trying to use that as leverage, because the Dodgers are literally more expensive than Coors, and I just don't see how that doesn't make them less owned than Coors, and with that said, less owned than many of the stacks on the slate. But haven't got a pulse on ownerships yet. I tend to do the research first before we do ownerships, because I do like to lean a little bit more the research side than the latter. But that's our slate. So we do have a couple confirmed lineups here. Let's see what you guys got, and then we'll do some prop hunting. Justin Turner's starting to show his age, but he's cheap on Fanduel for a late night batter. Let's see. Turner is 28. Yeah, it is really cheap. What up, Jordan? PrizePicks gave me a free 3-pick power yesterday. Let's see what the pay was. $10. Wow. I've never heard them do that. That's crazy. Jock pinch hit last night. He'll be starting. Yeah. He'll usually starts against righties, but then gets subbed out. Like, he's not a guaranteed to stay in the game, the full 9 innings if they end up pulling a lefty out. And then he'll use like Austin Slater as the platoon. Let's see. Let's get some confirmed lineups in. We did get both the Twins and the Orioles lineup, so that's good. Buxton's not in the lineup tonight. Yikes. So I mean, he's a massive part of that stack, right? So I'm still gonna get there, but that's gonna be a step back. Gio Urshela batting 8th. Celestino still in that 9 spot. Bro, why am I typing like an absolute bum today? There we go. Twins confirmed. Orioles lineup: Cedric Mullins, Trey Mancini, Santander, Austin Hayes is batting cleanup. Ryan Mountcastle. Man, dude, for a team that sucks so much, 1 through 5 doesn't sound bad, right? Is that just me? Jorge Mateo. And then we had a Red Sox lineup come out. Trevor Story, Rafi Devers, Bogarts, JD, Kike, Verdugo's batting 6th. Christian Vasquez, Bobby Dalbat, Christian Arroyo. Alright, that's our confirmed Red Sox lineup. And boom. Alright, let's shop a little props, see what we can find. So let's open up PrizePicks. It's called MLB. And let's key out the strikeouts for the big boys. They got Bundy at 4 strikeouts against the Orioles. Smells like an over. That seems like a little light against the Orioles, right? Orioles so high in strikeouts. Hmm. 12% swing and strike rate for 4? Fully stretched out? I think I'm gonna take that. So let's add that to the list. Let's just make a list of stuff that is theoretically like okay. Dylan Bundy over 4Ks. What else are we working with? I haven't looked at the early slate, so I don't want to get caught lying on there. Giolito 6.5. I think he'll probably smoke that lineup. What if I give Giolito 90 pitches on the K Factory? What happens? Probably like 8.5 strikeouts, right? Would like to see that lineup confirmed though. K Factory 90 pitches for him gives us 7. So it's actually not smoking that. 100 does get to 7.5. Maybe we'll look at his outs, and then Peralta's at 6.5 Ks. I think that's appropriate. Corbin's at 4. Gomber's at 4. There's a couple low numbers here. Cortez at 5 against the Blue Jays. That feels high. And I think that might be an opportunity to take advantage of overreaction from the market. Because a lot of his strikeouts are like cheesy strikeouts. And this is not a high strikeout team. So at 5, I would probably lean the under. I think he could get to 5, but I'd lean the under, hopefully for a push. So I'm going to go Nestor Cortez, under 5 Ks. Milwaukee, Washington, NY stack. You like that contest? I'm with that. Hit that like. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, boys. Yo, it's only 2? Wow. Maybe I should have did a 2 p.m. stream. That's crazy. I haven't looked at Montes. Hey, that'll give me time to eat this steak, though. Giolito's at 18 out, so I'm playing him for 6 innings. That's probably what I would expect. Kikuchi's implied for 5 innings, or 1 shy of 5. Cortez is implied for 5.1. So, if we think he can get less than 5 strikeouts, I think that also, I think that correlates with the thought that he probably goes less than 5.1 innings. So I'll put Cortez under 5 Ks or under 15.5 pitching outs. Guys, you know how baseball just won't give you something? You know how rare an 11-game slate or 11-game win streak is in baseball? It's pretty rare. So you just feel like the moons and stars are aligning for a Yankees L, and I'd be happy with that. I'm not happy, but I'd take it. So I kind of like the under on Nestor Cortez's strikeouts and pitching outs, but I do want to wait for the confirmed Blue Jays lineup. What else we got here? Peralta's implied for 6 innings. That's fair. Corbin's implied for 5. Now I danced with the Fetty under yesterday, and I got smacked. So I'm probably gonna leave that one alone for now. Austin Gomber's implied for almost 6 innings. Yes, he's been good. Thank you, babe. Can you microwave some steak? What? Also, did you just take my water?
Yes, it's strawberry. It's my favorite.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I just grabbed it.
It's mine.
Okay.
You can have the other one.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to just drink some coffee. I just got. All right, thanks. I'm gonna add something to the spreadsheet next week when I do the full rebuild. That helps us better project the PrizePicks fantasy score for them. I don't know that I want to get too caught up in projecting hitter fantasy here, but we'll see if anything sticks out for a potential leadoff guy at 6 or less for fantasy points. He's at 7.5. No, Buxton's not playing, so that's probably going to be taken off the board. Judge's at 8.5. Judge and Stanton are 7 and 8 game hit streaks. That's pretty good. Polanco's at 5.5 fantasy, and he's batting third. That's a maybe. I like grabbing those low lines for top of the order guys, especially on the road. Just 5 or 6 at bats. Why not? But I'm not seeing any names that I'm in love with. I guess we'll look at the bomb detector and cross-reference that with some of these fantasy scores. Patrick Wisdom, yes sir. Judgy, JD Martinez, Trevor Story. All right, where are the Red Sox on here? Maybe the Red Sox is still on my money. I don't see him on here. Boston. Trevor Story's at 1.5 total bases. JD's at 1.5 total bases. They didn't give us much for fantasy score. Obviously, I like that, but I don't like. I hate betting total bases because the other stuff, the double zeros on the walk and stuff like that gets you. All right, now let's look at no run first innings. What do we got? First of all, any games before we even look that look like, all right, these offenses might be stagnant. So I can see this Twins lineup against Bradish and this Orioles lineup maybe not giving us a run in the first inning. Neither team applied for anything especially big. Yankees usually take a round or two before they get warmed up, but I'd probably avoid that one. Reds and Brewers, you're kind of banking on the Brewers there. White Sox, no. Coors, maybe. I thought they offer Coors. So there's really not a lot. So it'd really just be if they offered Twins in Baltimore, I'd probably be somewhat interested. They do. So Orioles, Twins under 0.5 runs first inning. So if I had to make a 3-pick card right now, I'd probably take a shot on Bundy over 4 Ks. Cortez, I think he's more likely to go deeper than to get a bunch of Ks. So I'd probably take Cortez under 5 Ks and Twins under, or no run first inning for the Twins now that Bucks is not in the lineup. Now let's also look at underdogs, see what they're offering. Much like our prize picks. Thank you.
I knew you'd laugh.
Ketchup.
I knew you'd laugh.
Oh, man. I'll take the teriyaki sauce, though.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. She brought me my leftover steak and with some ketchup because, you know.
You want barbecue sauce?
No, thank you. Just the teriyaki. Dylan Bundy, 16 and a half pitching outs over here. Huh?
Do you want barbecue sauce? It's like never been opened and we have to use it.
Nah, just the teriyaki for now.
Boy.
Boy.
Dante, come here.
We don't have the same strikeout prob over here. Cortez at 87 and a half pitch count. Nothing screaming at me from those first few games. Reed Detmers at 83 and a half pitches. That might be something that we bank on him getting beat up and kicked out. Thank you, man. So that's a maybe. JD Martinez at half a run. They give us 6.5 Ks for Freddie Peralta. I like the thought of Peralta strikeouts. I do. I guess I'll hold off for that lineup because I do want some action on Peralta tonight. I wish they would give us innings on underdog. 90 pitches for Corbin and Coors. That seems like the tippy top of great things. I think I would take the shot at the under. With that said, did PrizePicks give us a Corbin outs? 15 and a half outs. I gotta take a shot at 90 pitches on the over on underdog. And then if you don't think Jock hits like a homer and we think he could get subbed out for Slater, maybe we take some of his unders now that he's a starter. I like the PrizePicks board a little bit more today for props, but we can also check out this rivals mode. And then, like I said, if you haven't jumped on underdog, if you use this link, I'll post it in chat. Much like PrizePicks, they'll double your first deposit up to $100, and that's just free money. We only have Xander Bogaerts versus Kiki, and then McCutcheon versus Rowdy Tellez. So I would imagine more is on the way. And that's total. I'd probably lean Bogey here, but anyway, that's what we're working with. Microwave and steak. I mean, how to warm it up? How do you warm up your leftover steak? That's not how I cook. I'm just, I seared it last night. Regression. Yeah, I think Cortez is a great pitcher, like for real life. But I thought 10, 12 strikeouts, whatever. That was getting a little ridiculous. I think this matchup is if a good Cortez game for me is just like, hey, he went 5-6 innings, 4 or 5 Ks, but he doesn't give up a lot. Like, he's a good pitcher, but I'm not necessarily looking for him to be Cy Young. There were some crazy like Cy Young takes on him too. Anyway, chat, I guess that's gonna be it. I think I'm gonna get to work on this steak here. I will be back in about an hour to chop up the 2-game NBA slate. But if you guys want to open up the spreadsheet, make it part of your research process, it is behind the paywall at rundfs.com. Get a week pass, try it out, and you get to you can copy my answers if you want to, but you can also just compare your notes to mine. We don't have to run the same stuff. Baseball is baseball. Air fryer 225, don't kill the cow twice. I had an air fryer, but I broke it, and I never got a new one. So maybe I'll get a new one. Yeah, I was just making sure I didn't miss any other lineups from this slate. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. I'll be back in about hour or so with Josh, we'll be talking about the 2-game NBA slate. If you guys got anything else for me, you can always hit me up on Twitter. And then in the description below, we have a link to a free Discord, right? I try to do everything. There's free, there's a little paid, a lot paid, a lot, But for the free, we have a free Discord, and it's a pretty active Discord. So if you guys haven't jumped in there, get in there, man. And I want to see a baseball group start taking over. It's all NBA boys for now. But I guess I did see some Bumgarner chat. But this PrizePicks and Props channel has been popping, man. I mean, any time of day I open up the phone and I look at it, and you boys are just talking ideas and grinding together. And that's the whole point of this Discord, is to be a positive vibe environment where we just want to see each other be great. So if you want to be part of that, link is in the description below. It's completely free to be part of it. Myself, Josh, we're part of the conversation quite a bit. And then there's levels to this, right? Did you drop that bad boy air fryer? No, I left it on the stove. I don't know if I left it. So one of us left it on the stove, and then one day we were warming up the stove. Long story short, the power plug melted. So I had to throw it out. What are you gonna do? Anyway, chat. I'll see you guys in about an hour. I'm about to catch up this steak so MF hard. And get this coffee going, man. I appreciate you boys. Hope you crush it tonight. Good luck. God bless. And go in some money.